ahead and take us away.
Okay, so, see, we said we'd be quicker this time.
Yeah. Like we said, we're going to try and stay on a more conspicuous, on a more, like, steady schedule. That said, I don't know what we're doing after this one. Fuck it, we'll talk about that at the end. Moonlit Brew!
Yeah. Yeah, this one was the other I think we name dropped it last time, but this was the other comic we weren't sure whether or not to do. We had our guy out last time.
Yeah, this... We came across this one on Comic Fury, just on the forums.
Yeah.
And we fell in love. It was magical.
Yeah. A lot of it was the art, because it just immediately catches your eye.
It is...
But we'll go into that later.
We are going to be splooging our pants over the art. It is beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Moonlit.
Yeah. Okay, admittedly, this one's a little bit of a change of pace for us.
Yeah, if you've ever asked us to do your webcomic, you might have heard us tell you that, we try to... One of the minimum requirements is that we try to only have webcomics that have had at least 100 pages.
Yeah, which this is above 100 pages, but just barely.
Yeah, it's like right at the point. This is it's at 103 pages.
Yeah. And honestly, the comic hasn't entirely kicked into gear yet. Let's see exactly how long it's been running.
Yeah.
It's been running for about a year.
Yeah. And that's the thing about webcomics, because they because they take so long to get a story going and get moving, like they're slow, webcomics are.
Yeah, typically.
Yeah, and so the reason we have the 100-page limit is because this is 100 pages in. We're kind of still getting its footing. Like, still establishing some shit.
Yes, so this one's kind of a bit more preliminary than most of the other comics we reviewed so far, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, if we were doing... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's like this one's still really finding its footing, so some of what we're probably going to be limited in just how much we can say about, like, characters or story or something.
Yeah.
But do think there's at least enough here to talk about.
If this wasn't going to be such a positive review, I'd actually feel really guilty, because if this was like a negative review, I'd feel like a dick.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's kicking a horse that just came out of the barn.
Yeah.
But no, this is part of the reason we're doing this. We jumped right into trying it is because we like it so much. We really want to get folks into it, because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And I suppose since we already made it clear we have a positive opinion on it, I guess it couldn't hurt that, okay, I'll go ahead and mention this now. The comic has a Patreon.
Yeah.
Which helps keep it, like, up and running or whatever, and keep extra pages coming in, that kind of thing. And it's actually been having some, like, financial problems lately.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason we wanted to do this. I mean, no, we don't really have a lot of listeners or anything, but maybe it'll encourage somebody at least doing a lot. So
yeah.
The person I'm throwing $3 a month at it.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'm not, because Martin doesn't exactly make a shit ton of money, but I make even less, so...
Yeah, most of this morning has been me complaining about my paycheck, but that's something else entirely.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I should have brought it up.
In either case... Yeah, so part of the reason for doing this is just in the hopes that maybe it might get an extra eye or two toward the comic.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the first thing we've hosted on Comic Fury we actually reviewed.
Wait, like, the first thing we've reviewed that's been from Comic Fury?
I think so.
Shit, I think you're right. Yeah, you're pretty much right.
Yeah.
It feels weird because we're hosted by Comic Fury.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a really incredible comic that you should check out, and I guess we should get into the premise then.
Yeah.
See if I can find some good pictures. I want to get that park scene because I want to draw the 3 main leads because I really like these 3.
Yeah. Okay, so the premise is... Okay. I'm not entirely sure where to start on the premise.
God, Lydia looks so fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's the premise.
This chick is really well drawn. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah. Okay, so... Alright, as we said before, the premise hasn't entirely found its footing yet, so it's a little up in the air exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
But... essentially, it's about a couple of guys who befriend a... I guess she's a barista.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that's a specific position at coffee shop for a while. But anyway. Okay, so...
But she also works at a supermarket?
What? Yeah.
Which is kind of also weird to have when the barista thing is in the fucking title?
Yeah. Okay, so, and essentially, the Moonlit part comes in the fact that she's a werewolf.
Yeah.
And there's been some groundwork for some sort of, like, company, your government bureau or something like hunts magical creatures or something that may be coming after her or something.
Yeah.
That hasn't gotten that much set up yet, so we're not entirely sure where it's going.
Oh, no.
But at least that's kind of a portrait of where things stand right now.
Yeah. But yeah, but it says a lot that we really do love this webcomic. We like the characters enough that even though we know very, very little about the plot thus far, we're still very much into it, and we really do want to know where it's going.
Yeah.
Because, alright, so far in the comic, most of what we have is the 2 guys, Sam, that's the brunette guy on the right, and Simon, the blonde motherfucker, finding out, what's that?
So, well, that was blunt.
I wasn't being mean, I was just, like, saying...
I know, I just found it funny.
I'm sorry. I actually like Simon a lot. I think, after Liddy is probably my favorite character thus far, though granted that's not saying very much. So just finding out that she's a werewolf and her explaining it, and then the setup for the government thing, and then some more stuff about Sam getting a shit ton of money from his uncle?
Okay.
It's like, he has like that Sam has like that video game protagonist thing where he has his relative is not, where he has a relative guardian, but it's not his parents.
Yeah.
Like every version of fucking Link that actually has a guardian.
I didn't sign up on the Patreon.
Oh, sorry?
No, I was just saying. One thing I find kind of funny on that,
yeah,
which kind of goes to show how likely the hat is for, like, is the fact that in the old Patreon update blurbs or whatever,
yeah,
they've made a point of mentioning several times, just the time since I've been doing this, which has really only been a few weeks. I've mentioned several times, like, oh, by the way, guys, Lydia's coming back soon.
Aww.
Just found it kind of funny, and, like, you know, and it kind of says something that's like, you know, I'm eager for that.
Yeah, like, something about these 3 characters are just so nice, and so... And partially it is the artwork, like, a lot of the good stuff comes from the artwork, but the 3 characters have a connection and a friendship that just is so nice and so welcoming that you kind of, like, it kind of comes through the screen. You kind of want to hang out with these people.
Yeah, even though, honestly, again, we haven't actually seen them hang out that much.
I know, but they leave enough to it that you just feel the connection and you feel the friendship, and that can be hard to do, but it's, when it works, it's really amazing.
Yeah. My hair isn't nearly poofy enough.
I know, it's not nearly poofy enough. Okay, why was I not working with this picture? Okay. It's like, the poofiness of the hair in this comic is amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, that hair is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so... Yeah. We're doing this a little bit more freeform than some past, because typically we have at least kind of some degree of an outline for where we're going with this.
Yeah.
in this case, we're just kind of doing more frequent, partially as an experiment, partially just because it didn't, because as said, this time it's experimental, so in general.
Like we really we just couldn't barely come up with an outline to be.
Yeah, though we do think we can talk about the comic. I suppose one thing that does bear going into, do you want to go into the plot first, or do you want to go to the art first?
Art.
Okay. One thing that does bear mention on the art is, even though it's pretty stabilized at this style, there have been 3 artists.
Yeah, and okay, the reason, like we said, the reason we got into this comic immediately was because the art was so amazing. There's anime-esque art, deviant art. My own art is like anime-esque, but this one is not anime-esque. This one is like an anime.
Yeah, like a quality anime.
Oh yeah, like I feel looking at this manga, looking at this webcomic, I feel like I'm reading a manga in color.
Yeah.
Like that's just how good it is. It goes past similar to the art style and right into just that's what it is.
Yeah. Like art looks so nice.
It's amazing.
But yeah, before this current artist, who has done the bulk of the comics, so this is mostly what you're in for. For his current artist, there were a couple others.
Yeah, there were 2 others, and I'm not gonna lie. The first time I saw those 2, I was pretty. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I decided, I've got to archive binge on this, and saw the other 2 artists that were doing this, I thought, okay, crap. I don't know if I can do this one.
Honestly, I like the old art, but the current art style does fit the comic much better.
Yeah, it's the current art just beats the shit out of both of them. Not to say that the other 2 are necessarily bad, but it's just...
Yeah, I like the other 2 art styles, but this one just great.
Yeah, I personally don't like the first art style that...
Honestly, I think part of why you don't like it, and part of why I do, is because it reminds me of Venus Indy.
It kind of does. But this is the second art style, and again, it's very, like, it's a little bit closer to what came later, but not quite.
Yeah.
And
honestly, I'm a bit disappointed with the second art style. The pages are too small.
Yeah, that was very Yeah, it's very distracting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I personally think that's a higher quality. Yeah. Either way, do keep in mind that the bulk of it is this third artist, who is again just incredible.
Yeah, who's been doing it since the start of Hammer 2.
Yeah, and from every indication, it seems like this one's here to stay. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the art is like really nice.
Oh yeah.
As are a lot of the character designs, although there is one I kind of want to draw attention to.
I think I know the one you mean.
Let me see if I can dig it up.
Should we mention the cameo alongside that, or should we just bring up?
Actually, that's probably actually a better leading point. Is okay, so this town does occasionally have some like odd cameos.
Yeah. Hang on, I gotta dig through this one first. Why am I doing it? Damn it, I wanted to keep
For instance, here, there's...
Oh, did you find it?
Well, I found the page. Didn't sort the point. Like, this one that's, like, this reminds us so much of somebody we can't tell who.
Oh, this guy, yeah!
That's not the character who I was wanting to bring up. I was just like, it was the one cameo thing.
This is a character who's just, like, kind of pops up for one thing, and I swear to God, this character design is so familiar to me.
Yeah.
It looks like an Osamu Tezuka character.
Yeah, and as I said, the talent does have like frequent cameos. Like there's a scene where you can just kind of see Trunks hanging out.
Yeah, there's one page that is just in a fast food joint, and Trunks is there from DBZ.
Yeah, and then there is this for someone who appears to be an actual character.
Yes, this is one of the Men in Black kind of guys who are hunting them down, and the guy on the left is Amuro from Fooly Cooly.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
it's not...
Totally. Yeah, he totally is.
Not exactly him. For example, he lacks the
He likes the eyebrows and the hair is a different shade of red.
I was gonna say facial hair, but yeah. Amuro's eyebrows kind of go beyond eyebrows and try to become something else.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like that design is like really and also it's pretty distracting.
It really is. Because okay, like we said, like it's not exactly it. It was an influence on the design, but it's been tweaked. But yeah, it's. Do you think it might just be because we're such big fans of Fooly Cooly that it's sticking out to us?
That's possible.
Because I get the feeling like if we weren't as big of fans of that show as we are, we might not know. Either we wouldn't notice it or we wouldn't be bothered by it as much.
Possibly, although even then, I've got to say the red on the hair is really jarringly bright.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And honestly, doesn't match like the rest of Tom's palette.
It kind of doesn't, but I think that might be because. I think that might be because the scenes here in like this office are like marginally like not darker, but kind of grayer, like kind of more in like that sleek metallic kind of look.
True.
Because like you compare it to.
Even outside of that, you typically see like more. Not always adored, but you typically see more like realistic kind of hairstyles where all this stuff just has like really jarring red.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's like fire engine red.
On the subject of Gynax references.
What? Oh yeah, who was this guy?
It's like just doing the... Yeah, that just reminds me a lot of Gendo.
Yeah, it's the pose. And I was actually about to bring up, do you ever know, this is kind of unrelated, but do you ever notice how it feels like Amuro kind of has some Gendo in his design?
Yeah, I can see that.
Especially those fucking glasses.
Yeah.
It's those orange shades, baby.
That's probably on purpose, like, to try and mislead you on what Amuro is like, but that's really a whole other matter.
Plus, it's the kind of thing. It's the kind of character that Amuro would want to be.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm the ominous Overlord Puppet Master. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't take us off topic.
I'm sorry. We've
awesome.
Yeah, we've had some Fooly Cooly on our brain lately. Ever since they announced the sequel.
Okay. In any case, though, yeah.
So happy.
On the whole, though, the art's just really nice.
It is just stunning. There's one aspect of the artwork that I kind of wanted to bring up in regards to one of the characters, and it's because before I make an ass out of myself and get these facts wrong, there's only been the one. My God, the poofiness.
What is it?
My God, the poofiness, that hair. Good God.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But
still think we have enough.
I don't know if I can do anymore, man.
Yeah.
But before I make an ass out of myself and this,
Simon, I guess.
Yeah. Before I make an ass out of myself and get this wrong, the comic has only had one writer, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, I just want to make sure. The thing about Simon is...
We do research.
What's that?
I said we do research.
Oh, I'm sorry. Simon has, Simon, blonde guy, glasses right there.
Yeah, it's the one writer. Cameron Jones.
Oh, awesome.
I assume I'm pronouncing it correctly. Cameron. I mean, it's spelled kind of... It's spelled atypically.
Can't be wrong. Anyway, the character is portrayed... Anyway, obviously the comic only has one writer, and presumably he doesn't change his idea about the character too much when actually just doing the... I
feel like Lydia's characterization was probably tweaked slightly from conception to, like, where she actually is now.
Yeah, now she feels like a lot more... Before she seemed like a lot more closed off, now she seems a lot more friendly and not quite girl next door-y, but...
Yeah, at least kind of bubbly.
Yeah, kind of... Yeah, like more friendly and loving. And anyway, the way that Simon is drawn, like presumably Simon was written with the same character in mind all the way through, but the way he's drawn has varied a lot in the presentation of the character, because this first artist kind of drew him as like slacker asshole douchey best friend, which kind of did make me immediately sort of dislike the character a little bit. But then the second artist kind of portrayed him more as like grinning, mischievous. I'm trying to think of like. I can't think of a good example of it, but I've seen this a lot in anime. It's just like friend who's up to mischief and always has a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
Like as sort of more a character like that, who I was a lot more open to. And the third artist, fuck, I'm just bouncing all around these archive pages.
Yeah, under third artist sounds a lot more like outright like crazy.
Yeah, more outright crazy, but in a likable way.
Yeah, like more kind of zany.
Yeah, and sort of, which fits a lot better for like the best friend kind of role.
Yeah.
And I just found that very interesting, because I'm sure all of these writers were given the same notes, but they all interpreted the character in different ways and all sort of presented him different ways in the writing, in the artwork.
Yeah. Some of it probably is the writing, because, whenever you first start writing, you don't fully know what the character's going to turn out like. Yeah,
but in the span of 30 pages...
Yeah, it's probably mostly the art, but I'd say the writing at least plays a hand in it.
Maybe. I get the feeling like these were all just kind of being given the same character to work with, but they all just interpreted it differently.
Yeah,
and I thought that was very interesting. Just from like kind of a quasi-academic standpoint, because apparently that's what I like to think of. Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, due to that, Simon has been a little bit of a hard character to like nail down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the three of them do work together well. You got like you really do care about Lydia and her problems. She's definitely my favorite of the three thus far.
Yeah.
Everything all right?
Yeah.
She's definitely my favorite of the three thus far.
What is it?
She's definitely my favorite of the three thus far. Sam is a little bit generic, but still functions really great as a main character. And like we said, Simon is like this kind of zany best friend. And
yeah, we haven't seen too terribly much of the cast beyond that.
No.
Like most characters who appeared, otherwise, have really only been like one scene.
Yeah.
But the main three have been established pretty decently for a fairly limited amount of screen time.
Yeah. And like we said, we do really like their relationship and want to see them get together.
Yeah. Something I will give the content so far, it's done pretty well.
Yeah.
Is it's you having kind of a I hate to kind of describe it this way, but it kind of fits the mold. Kind of a generic guy protagonist.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Like even for that, like he's still the one who gets the priority screen time wise.
Yeah.
Which it's often very easy to let those get just overtaken entirely.
See any harem show fucking ever.
Yeah.
Unless it's a good, with the exception of something like Negima, which is an awesome harem show that turns into a shonen show. Manga. Fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
See, where I've been watching I doubt I'm gonna pronounce this correctly.
Fuck, I made it too long.
The Tashi, I don't know. It's an anime about eating food.
By
Well,
who?
eating candy. And yeah, like it's a case where it kind of has like a guy who's like the main guy who's just kind of like given a few token personality details and like moved on or whatever. and like kind of a crazy girl to play off of. But the thing is, like she, and this is common for this type of show, just completely overshadows and takes over anytime she's on screen.
Yeah.
Well, so far this comic really has avoided doing that.
Yeah. Like, Sam is very much a generic guy. Holy fuck, I cannot draw this hair. Like, oh my god.
It's like he has, like, Super Saiyan hair by way of, like...
He's got Super Saiyan hair, but there's a guy with a fan, like,
yeah,
right
like
off...
yeah, it's like Super Saiyan hair without pompadour.
Yeah!
I think you're taking it in the wrong direction. I think that's part of it, because it looks like blowing forward.
No, here it looks like... I'm taking it too far to the side. Going too far with it. Anyway, what were we saying?
Okay, see, I actually thought you were trying for Sam, okay?
Oh, yeah, no.
I was kind of half side up or something.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, you're working. What was I saying? Shit.
Yeah, the comic is good so far about, like, not letting this main character get, like, too sidetracked or anything.
No, and...
But, okay, yeah, by nature of being, you know, the werewolf in the equation, like, Lydia is the one who kind of gets the main focus so far.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, she's not the only one we've gotten backstory on or, like, some fleshing out on, which could very easily happen.
Yeah, and for someone who is just the generic guy protagonist, Sam is interesting. You do want to follow him around and see things through his eyes.
Yeah.
And I did appreciate, like, little bits of scenes, because like we said, there's a bit where he's talking to his uncle, his not dad, and, you know, his not dad's just giving him something and telling him weird stories about his past and talking about being a bumbling inventor, and yeah, there he is. And it's, you know, you kind of get into it. You kind of do dig this connection. Same thing with his connection to Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a, yeah, and I am like really genuinely curious to see like where these shows go from here, and where these characters go from here.
Yeah. God damn, we're barely at the 30-minute mark. I think we're already kind of running out of steam on this one.
Oh. There's some things we haven't really touched on yet, I don't think.
True.
Okay, one complaint I would level at the comic
Yeah?
is, even though it hasn't actually established that much yet, it's still really too jumpy, but it's part of why it hasn't had the room to establish much.
Even then, given how many webcomics we've read that are so worse about it, I feel like I'd be a dick.
True. This actually has some, like, even though it jumps around a lot, this honestly has some of the better pacing webcomic I've seen doing this.
Oh god, compared to some of the shit we've seen in webcomic pacing, this is a goddamn masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, for a year, it's established a pretty decent amount.
Oh yeah. Oh god. One thing me and Martin just complain a lot about for webcomics, that just drives us nuts, is that so many of them are poorly paced. And yeah, the pacing on this one probably could stand to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
To be fair, I feel like the opening of a story, especially a webcomic, because they're so slow, is one of the hardest things to pace. Yeah. Because you don't want to go at a breakneck speed and throw everything in your face at once, but at the same time, you don't want to be...
you don't want to be too slow about it, and you don't want to like take forever to get into the whole concept.
Yeah, it's a hard fucking tightrope to walk.
Yeah. Which really, that's storytelling in general. It's not just a webcomic thing. Just webcomics, they tend to have a very limited schedule, which kind of makes it worse.
Yeah. I feel like for a webcomic, it's just so much harder, just because of how slow we are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Back to it. But yeah, there is just a lot to look into. Sam, like as mentioned, is kind of sort of a superhero in her werewolf form. We don't like she doesn't fight super villains, but she will go out and fight crime apparently.
Yeah. But oh right, that reminds me of one plot point that did come up that I'm trying to hear Stuart a second ago.
Yeah.
The thing about how like there's like a sudden like rapid boom in how many werewolves are showing up across the country.
Yeah.
When like potentially being like a major like threat.
Yeah, and that's especially important because in this universe does establish that they do spread by biting.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I shouldn't even have to say, but I don't know. There's all sorts of fucking weird ass rules about werewolves.
Yeah. Everything has their own rules for werewolves. Or zombies or vampires or anything.
I think my favorite example of that was when I'm pretty sure it was you who told me that in Twilight all the werewolves are Native American.
Yeah.
And you told me that before you established that it's not a biting thing, it's genetic. So I was just sitting there wondering, like, so when you get bitten by a werewolf, you become Native American? The fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, on the werewolf thing, like, we haven't gotten that many details on exactly how they work in this universe.
No.
But, or like where it comes from, anything like that. But for what has been established, it feels like a good bit of thought's gone into it.
Yeah, and especially since there's a page in this MIB institution. I'm looking for it now, where they sort of cut to all of these like supernatural beings that they sort of hunt, and you get like a glimpse of a vampire and this is it. Yeah, like little glimpses of like ghosts, vampires, all this shit.
That page is another show just how good this comics art is.
I know, god damn it. And there's like so many moods being captured at once. Like I love the little gag of like trying to brush your hair with no reflection. God damn it.
Yeah.
I am impotent with jealousy over how awesome this comic is.
Yeah.
Why do all of them have sunglasses?
Helps for fighting basilisks?
Yes, obviously. Duh. I thought for sure when I set that up you were gonna make a Men in Black joke. It's so they can use the neuralizers.
Yeah. Now, I'm pretty sure that Afro guy's hair is like somehow alien.
Like, no, that's where he hides his gadgets. Whenever he needs to use his gun, he just reaches into his afro and pulls it out.
That's where he keeps his chocobo.
That always bothered me about Final Fantasy 13. Okay, baby chocobos are like the size of a parakeet?
Yeah.
Chocobos are like the size of emus. Shouldn't like a baby chocobo should be like the size of a Doberman or something.
Yeah.
Like, so they go from parakeet to horse bird?
Also, how filthy is the inside of his afro?
I know! And how long? Okay, if they're born the size of a parakeet and then they go up to horse bird, we are getting way the fuck off topic. But how long does it take for them to become fully grown? Because that would be like way longer than it does for a human. That would have to be like 40 years of growth.
I guess it's okay because that chocobo is actually a woman.
Of course! Fucking Jesus God, Final Fantasy, what is wrong with you?
If it wasn't clear, I said we think we'd kind of run out of things to say.
I think we kind of have. Whatever. Actually, did you go into the specifics about the Patreon thing, about why in particular they're so in need of money? Because I feel like did we skip over that part?
Essentially the kind of the benchmark for like keeping pages like extra pages rolling in and stuff was 125 a month, and they at a point dropped down to see if I can't load this up. Though right now they have like a Cheyenne image on there that just crashes Patreon so that I try to open it. Okay. Right now they're at $69 a month, but at a point it dropped down to about 51.
So look it up, okay.
Yeah. So it's on the uptick, but they could still use people chipping in.
Yeah, and this is like very important to them, and if I had I didn't want to get into it. Yeah, they, like I said, these people really do deserve it. They are so fucking good.
Yeah.
Really,
I want more. Really, I want more in the way of updates on this thing. I want to get to the point where it's doing more frequent updates, just because it's a good comic. I'd like to see more.
Yeah, I really would. I really do want to see more of this comic. It's just so good. That's how much we are just enjoying this. And okay, Sam's hair came out pretty damn easy. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's like this just farted that one out.
Yeah. Kind of came out looking like Blood Irving.
Kind of like looking like what?
Blood Irving, character from the Tales games. He has Mies down.
Oh, okay. I never played the Tales games.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely recommend this. Last week we said that Gaia looked like the best drawn webcomic I'd ever seen. This topped it. The artwork of this
we were
one.
We were saying up until a point it was probably like the best looking webcomic we had seen. Yeah. This is that point.
This is just, and I don't see this being toppled for a long time. Not unless Frank Quitely turns out to have a webcomic somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure if you dug hard enough, you could probably find something, but it would probably take some digging.
Oh yeah,
it's certainly far above the norm.
This is amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, as I said, we're not entirely clear exactly what all it's going to turn out. Where all this is going to go or anything.
Yeah.
But
I'm eager to see it. I'm eager to find out.
Yeah.
Shine on, you crazy diamond.
Yeah, it's like that. Ideally, this would keep going for a long time, and really, see more of this, and just get a, not more in a hurry, keep comic roll and all that. I want to see more of this, see where it goes.
Absolutely. Looking into the future, I don't know. I don't precisely know what we're going to be doing next time. I can think of.
I guess we could cover one of the same requests or something. I don't know if he want to ask us or something. This might be a good time for you to ask us.
True. The only thing offhand I can think of I might want to do would be Bob and George.
Yeah. There are a few times I've been wanting to try at some point. I guess we might try to fit in.
Oh yeah. We don't know. We'll look into it.
Yeah. Yeah, we certainly don't want that long to wait on this one.
No.
We want that to be up fairly soon.
Yeah, we would like to start doing things more on a
every 2 or 3 week basis.
Yeah, every 2 weeks or so, we would like to start putting these out.
Yeah. Yeah, we both had comics we would like to read, we're just not running enough working around to it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I should start naming names that might set up an expectation. And he said Bob and George, so...
Yeah, I said Bob and George.
Okay.
One
I'd kind of like to try to say Anti-Hero for Hire.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I have no idea how that's aged.
Now I definitely want to try Anti-Hero for Hire.
Even at the time when I was following it, I had some major issues with it.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's this one we talked about doing at some point called Marry Me.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that one. That does sound kind of fascinating.
Yeah, and if it didn't continue that long from whenever I kind of stopped reading it because it seemed to be over, even though it turned out it wasn't. then it probably isn't that long.
God
So
damn it, look at that scenery.
Yeah. Although granted, it would be kind of similar to this one, like the really like super animated short style.
Yeah.
So it might not hurt to try to find something radically different, which it is Bob and George would be.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't reread Bob and George since it ended. I don't know how that one's aged either, especially since, Sprite. I cannot think of a single other Sprite comic I would even consider doing for this, because it's really not my thing. Bob and George is kind of the exception.
I probably wouldn't entirely rule out reviewing anything, or reviewing Control Elite.
What was that?
Oh wait, no, not that. Sorry, I got the name confused. I wouldn't entirely rule out doing 8-bit theater.
What was the other thing you had mentioned?
I said the wrong comic. Sorry, I got the name confused.
Okay. Maybe I did flip through that one night. It had a couple of laughs, I guess. Just from flipping through it, I guess
I don't know that I'd want to review it. I'm saying I don't think I'd be entirely opposed.
No, I don't think
there are comments I outright don't want to review.
Yeah, there are definitely ones I don't want to do, but I guess I wouldn't be opposed to 8-bit theater either. I kind of don't want to.
I'm not jumping to it. It wouldn't be on first instinct. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it next.
No, I definitely not next now. Like I said, Sprite comics just aren't really my thing, personally.
Yeah. Another one I want to try doing at some point, though I would need to reread this, and I'm not really rushing to, would be Metatopia.
Yeah,
that one's a whole other avenue in terms of great webcomic art, but that's something else entirely.
Yeah, from your descriptions on that one, maybe we should get one.
Yeah.
How many pages is that offhand, do you know?
What?
Do you know how many pages that is offhand? Like, how many hundreds?
I know it was over 1,000 at the point whenever I stopped following it.
Oh, motherfucker. Okay, wow.
Yeah, but they don't seem to have, like, update the... Okay, I see. Okay, the archives are, like, really... Okay, it seems to be at about... I don't know, it's really... This archive system's really confusingly laid out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Man.
Okay, it seems to be about 1,400.
Oh.
It takes some doing, but it might be worth... That one probably also won't be next just because it would take a while to read it.
Yeah, it's a big problem when we have, like, long runners, but... I think that's all we got on this one right now.
I suppose it could consider looking a little further into these couple of comics I picked up physical versions of on the cheap, like on sale once at like Walden Books or something. I've read some of it, not well. Okay, I've read some of one, and never got around to the other.
Okay.
Which are what's that up? Okay, actually looking up, I'm not entirely sure one of these is a webcomic.
Yeah. What's it called? Maybe I've heard of it.
Amazing Agent Luna.
Yeah, that sounds like it's either a manga or a webcomic that's trying to be a manga.
It seems to be an English manga, looking into it. Yeah, it seems to be an English manga. But, another one, which I'm pretty sure is a webcomic, is Alley House. I've never actually read it, but I own a copy of it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Like, that might bear considering. I don't know. As I said, if anyone wants to request or something, throw it out there. I mean, maybe we'll just try finding some random thing on Comic Fury and see how that comes out. I don't know. Not likely, but possible.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we got.
Yeah, I think that's it. Definitely recommend this. Give them your money.
Yeah, even if you can't donate, then at least just give the comic a look it over, just contribute some word points if you go to it, whatever.
Yeah. Word of mouth can add a lot to Patreon, and word of mouth adds a lot to webcomics. Period.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it then. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Later.
See ya.